Okay guys, so I have this Hisense Dual Hose AC unit that stopped blowing cold air today, right? There is some troubleshooting that applies to this unit and other units, right? That is advisable to try before you're doing anything else. If those troubleshooting steps, they're not fix your problem, that mean that the unit actually requires some other stuff. Beyond that, usually if it's under the warranty, you can file an RMA. If it's not, then find the technicians or inspect further. So one of the first steps when your unit is not blowing cold air, right? You need to actually unplug the unit, make sure it's not plugged in, and hold the power button down for like 30 seconds, right? What these do is when the unit is unplugged and you hold the power button down, it actually discharges any residual current that might be stored in the unit, and it's resetting the unit. This is what it's called, the hard reset, right? So 30 seconds or so, let it go, plug it back in. Press the power back on. And check your unit. See if it's gonna do anything or not. Okay, so if your unit is still not cooling after that, the next step you do, if you have a remote like this, right? You set the unit in super cool mode. Even if your remote doesn't have the super cool button, what you need to do, you drop the temperature to the lowest possible settings. In my case, it's going to be 61 degrees, right? And set the fan, if it doesn't go by itself, set the fan to high. And again, this is recommended to run the unit like that for about 30 minutes or so and inspect the unit. Now I'm not going to do that, I'm going to skip forward because I actually did that already and that didn't help at all. Right? So after the running for like the unit for like 30 minutes or so, if it still doesn't do anything, what you want to do, you switch the unit in between modes. And notice if there is any cooling. So again, unit it's back to cool, right? And let it run for a little bit and see if anything is happening. Okay, my unit is still blowing cold, warm air. It doesn't cool at all. Your next step would be actually power cycling the unit. Power cycling the unit, it's kind of like, I kind of don't agree with it. Manufacturer recommended. I don't like it because what it does mean actually, while your unit is running like this, there is a button on the plug right here, right? And while the unit is running, you're supposed to turn this off, turn it back on, and do it again off, turning it back on, off, turning back on. And again, wait for the unit, see if the unit is going to start cooling or not. I do not like this step because it's actually causing a lot of electricity drops inside the unit that even if it might start the unit, it might damage other stuff in there. So after doing all this troubleshooting, and my unit is still not working, so what I assume is happening here might be two issues, right? Everything else is working. I can switch in between modes, I can play with the fan, I can change the fan, I can change the timer, I can do all this stuff, right? But the unit is still not cooling. So the troubleshooting didn't help. What this means is that it might be the coolant. The unit might be low on coolant. That means you have a leak in the unit, right? Or, in my case, just go to the back of the unit, right? Where the compressor is. In my case, is right here. This is where the compressor is, behind this intake right here, right? And listen carefully. So in my case, when the unit starts, there is no kick in. I don't hear the compressor popping up. I don't hear the humming from the compressor. I don't hear anything. The only thing I hear are the fans working and nothing else. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this unit, and investigate any further. I'm going to make my next video disassembling this, and hope you're going to find all this information helpful. Thank you guys.